Greetings, Earth Stars. Eliane Nicole here, your astrologer and tarot reader. And I just wanted to make a quick little video to talk about the ingress of Jupiter into Pisces. This is a really wonderful aspect. In a couple of years, we've had some really tough astrology. So I wanted to take the time to talk about this because it's such a wonderful aspect. And it really has to do with growth and expansion, prosperity, abundance. It has real Renaissance vibes for the collective. Like there's going to be just incredible offerings in art and culture and music and things like that. There could be a baby boom, as well as a conception boom during this time. In terms of the environment, places that haven't seen rain in a long time will get rainy seasons. There could be floods in other places, which is more of the shadow side, when Jupiter and Neptune conjoin in late April or mid-April, I think that is. But besides that, the Jupiter conjunction to Neptune in April is very interesting because there's this, it almost looks like, we are through the looking glass completely into another world or something. It's like Alice in Wonderland or something. I'm very interested in seeing how it turns out. As astrologers, we can kind of see the broad strokes of what's happening. We can see the archetypical representations, and sometimes they do translate really literally, but sometimes they're more metaphorical. And I'm very curious about Jupiter conjuncting Neptune because it looks very surreal and magical and otherworldly, and just expansion of dreams and imagination. And it also looks like a time where many more people will be getting the virus, as well as many more people getting vaccines. So you see both sides of that coin surging simultaneously. There's also a surge in cons and deception and scams around this time. So there's like a shadow side and a good side to the conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces in April. And in early April, before that, Jupiter trines the South Node, which has real rebirth vibes. It's just kind of this renaissance, it's this rebirth, but then there's also a little bit of like the shadow sides of overindulgence, deception, scams, con artists. Also, another thing about the shadow side is I think we are going to see like record, highs in terms of the opioid crisis and suicides, overdoses, and things of that nature. Very Jupiter conjuncting Neptune in Pisces, because Pisces rules, Neptune rules viruses and vaccines and medicine, and Pisces is also, covers some of that stuff. So together with Jupiter expanding that, I think, again, we'll see the good of that, but we'll also see the shadow of that during this transit. Jupiter will be in Pisces through May. Another side of this transit is that it's very generous, it's very compassionate, it's very philanthropic transit. And I think that people will be very giving during this time. I also think that, things, again, will be very fertile during this time. Fertile creativity, but also physically fertile, crops fertile. I mean, the first 5 months are fertile. The second half of the year looks a little bit more fiery and dry, but the first 5 months of the year, first 4 or 5 months of the year look very wet. And I guess that those were the main things I wanted to say about the conjunction of Neptune. And in general, I just want to say that it's a lot about imagination, and that's a big part of 2022. If I could say that there was any like really big clue, I would be like, imagination is key. That is what is going to drive us forward. It's like we are in a time that we can't think our way out of. Things have just gotten too weird. Nothing makes sense anymore. Our imagination is what is going to save the planet. It is what is going to save humanity. And next year is a year where the cosmos really support those who dream, those who imagine, those who paint and sculpt and dance and sing, those who heal. it's an era where an appreciation will rise and an understanding of our need for that. Another thing about the Pisces, the Neptune-Jupiter conjunction, which I really love, is that it shows that the collective is coming into a real understanding of the oneness of us, how we are all one. Neptune is so much about that, and how we are all connected. And I think that, whatever it takes, that will really be brought to the forefront of our consciousness in a major way. Neptune also has to do with channeling other worlds. And so we will see that coming also to the forefront in a major way in 2022. And so, yeah, those are just some of the broad strokes. I will continue to do videos as the transits progress, but I just wanted to check in and just say, I really love this transit. It's one of my favorites of 2022. It's one of my favorite transits that we've actually had in the past couple of years, which is why I wanted to do a video. And, again, it depends on your own personal astrology, how it will affect you. In general, Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios are really going to find a lot of abundance. It's very emotional time also for those signs. For Virgos, there's a lot of growth through opposition for you in the coming months. Growth through obstacles and obstructions, but that still bring a grace and good fortune, even though initially they may not be like that. For Taurus and Capricorn, it's very fertile, very creative, a lot of growth. And then for Sagittarius, it's really great. I think Sagittarius is going to be really happy after the past year and a half that they've had, because Jupiter is also your ruling sign. And so, yeah, that's just a little bit. I encourage you to contact me for a reading so you can find out exactly which house Jupiter is traveling through your chart, and we can look at where it, where the aspects it's having this spring, and where you can expect to see some grace and good fortune, prosperity, abundance, or mercy in your life in 2022. Thanks for listening. I know I did that really fast, but I don't know. Thank you for joining me. I love talking about astrology. Call me for a reading. Bye.